When I think about giving back, it's not even me think about me giving something, it's me returning something that has already been given to me, and just figuring out how can I do that in the way that is going to be most impactful to what God has allowed me to be a part of. I think for me, ultimately, after a couple of visits, I got the sense that this was a welcoming and comfortable place to come and get challenged. And the messages continue to have me reflecting and challenging myself to grow in my faith. So
The first moment that I set foot in the church and heard the music, for me, my eyes started to swell up with tears because I knew we were in the right spot. But again, it was this message of how do we use the Bible to guide what we're doing every single day while we're just lifing. And so I loved that, and we loved that. It was all just so applicable for where we're at in our life, and it remains to be relevant every single sermon we go to. So yeah, a lot of things kind of drew us here and have kept us here.
We were drawn to make Life Point our home when we moved here from Charleston, South Carolina 3 years ago. We always knew we wanted to be in children's ministry. That is something we love. So we took the tour of Discovery Point. We immediately joined the theater team. That was when we saw that way to serve. Yeah. So we see firsthand, right, the growth, Sunday. The amount of children that are pouring into Discovery Point. So when we heard about Kingdom Builders, we knew immediately the need, if only for the children, for Discovery Point,
Absolutely.
Which it's not just that, but
absolutely. I think Kingdom Builders is not only going to give us a larger worship space, but to be able to take the space that we're utilizing for worship right now and dedicate that to children's ministries is just so awesome. It's going to really serve the youth in so many great ways, and we know that's one of the key cornerstones of Life Point Church is youth ministries, and we just appreciate that so much. And again, one of the reasons we really fell in love with the church, and one of the reasons that we are so firmly behind Kingdom Builders and the campaign for Phase 3.
Hi, I'm Addie Vining. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior at Catawba High School, and my family has been coming to Life Point for about 6 years now. So in January of this past year, I started a business with my mom, an online jewelry business. The steps we took in which to create the business was creating an LLC and creating a website and creating all my marketing pieces. In the midst of that, I knew I had to have a mission, but I wasn't sure what it was going to be. And I remember coming to church one day and I heard about Kingdom Builders Phase 3. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to create an impact on this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I knew my parents would give in some way, but I just didn't know what I was being called to do. And when I finally started creating my steps and thought about my mission, I came back to the idea of Kingdom Builders, and I was like, I want to support a cause. I want my business to support a nonprofit, and I thought it would be an amazing idea to give to the church.
Yeah, I recall last November when we had Commitment Sunday, how impressed I was with the participation of all the owners here at Life Point. Everybody going forward with their commitment card, and I just felt a real sense of community throughout the church that Sunday. It was so great.
Yeah. And I think I would add, we'd been at Life Point 2 years by that point,
yes.
So we already felt at home.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something about Commitment Sunday that just deepened our just family feeling into Life Point. That was really special that day.
Our first thought was, we're doing this. Now we just need to think about how much and how much can we give and what are we gonna do and how are we gonna line on this. And so for us, there was no hesitation about if we were gonna contribute. It was more of, okay, what can we do? How much can we give?
Our kids teach us so much about how to be good Christians and to walk in faith and to be more like who God needs us to be. So just seeing how we're going to have a bigger space for them and more different things that we can bring to them connecting with their spiritual faith is something that I'm really excited to see in this next chapter for Life Point.
A piece of advice I would give coming from a 17-year-old who's decided to give money would be do what your heart is telling you, and if you're being called to give, then that's Jesus telling you, be generous.
You just see that when you're willing to give in every sense of the word to others, you do in some godly way, you grow and you just become a more connected person and a more fulfilled person because of those things that you've been able to give to others.
The thing that excites me most about the future of our church is knowing that I get to call this place home. And I'm excited to see the end results because I know that I've made an impact by giving, and I'm excited to see how my impact is going to look. I hope that through this expansion of Kingdom Builders that God really shines light on my generation and pushes us to seek Him and find Him.
From the home that I have, the healthy children that I have, the wife that I'm blessed to have, the community, this church, all those things are things that I attribute to God's generosity, and it's something that, I try to emulate as much as possible, knowing that it would be impossible to do. And any way that I can do that, I try to just pull that through. So.
And I look at generosity as really beyond just financial. I think generosity comes in time, talents, and treasures. And it is just right that we honor God by giving back to Him of our time, of our talents, and of our treasures. And I think Kingdom Builders gives us a great opportunity to do all three of those.